Buddha.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. It's May 16th. Half the month is already gone. How you all doing? Time is flying by, isn't it? What's up to everybody in the chat? Good morning to all of you. What is going on? What is going on? I see a few of you in the chat. We'll just wait for a few more people to pop in. But shout out to the chat. Make sure when you all come in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. Any support to the channel is greatly appreciated. It does mean the world to me. I am currently about 25 subscribers away from 600. So I'm almost at that 600 mark. And again, I have all of you to thank for. I appreciate everybody that has been a subscriber so far. It means a lot to me. But how's everybody doing today? Good morning to all of you. Let me know how you all are doing. Keep in mind, I will be doing an open panel in about a half hour or so. So if you want to jump on the open panel, of course, it's open to anybody. And yeah, we'll get into all of that here soon. So what's up to the chat? Stephen B, what's going on? Good morning to you. Nosebleed section, my guy. What's going on, man? What's going on? Ken, good morning. Hope all's well with you, sir. Don't worry about it, man. You handle your business, man. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But hopefully all is well with you, sir. Hopefully all is well with you. Jake Boss, good morning to you, man. What's going on, Jake? How's your day? Yeah, Judge is definitely on fire, and we're gonna talk about Aaron Judge, right? We're gonna talk about Aaron Judge. We're gonna talk about Marcus Stroman. We'll talk about a few other things too that's been talked about in the Yankees world, and you know, other teams that are certain names that are involved in a possible trade. You know, we'll get into all that. We'll get into all that. So, but again, make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with anybody you know. Any support for the channel is greatly appreciated. You can have super chats. You can buy me a coffee. You know, all of that. So hopefully you're all doing well. Yeah, Stroman shutting them down. I mean, Stroman pitched a great game. That he bounced back right after a couple of rough starts, but you know, he's looked great. He looked great yesterday. Committing crimes against the baseball. You know it, man. You know it, man. Stroman's killing it right now. I'm doing pretty good, man. It's, you know, it's another morning. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I'm doing good. And I got somebody in the back who is ready to go. It's always great to have him on here. And my guy, Uncle Tats. What's up, my guy? You haven't jumped on my streams in a while, bro. What's up? What's up? I'm even rocking the shirt you got me. But while I'm doing that, while I'm talking here, I'm gonna invite my guy Jason. You ready to go, bro? Let's go. Jason from 161 River Ave. What is up, my guy? What's up, man? Good morning, bro. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm feeling good about this team.
Yeah.
You know, and I was thinking about it this morning, and like, you know how they differ from last year's team. I get a lot of people say this is when they start losing a couple games. It reminds me of the 2023 team.
Yeah.
Now, this is my thought. They're not going to put a period where a comma should be. You know what I mean? If something gets in the way, they're going to figure it out and they're going to keep going forward. They're not going to stop. That's what makes this team different than last year's team. Different mojo, different energy, different mission, different focus. And that's what motivates me about this team a lot. So, Tats is in the house. What's up, Tats?
Yeah. No, I got you, Tats. I know I'm sure you've been super busy. All love, bro. All love, man. Hope all things are well. Again, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to Pinstripe Chronicles Podcast, 161 River Ave, if you haven't yet. They do some great work over there with their channels, so make sure you all give them the support. They definitely deserve it. So
appreciate you, man.
Yeah. But go ahead, man. You were saying?
No, I mean that's what to me what differs this team from last year's team. What makes me excited about this team? I don't think at any point in time they're just going to throw a white flag. They're going to keep figuring out a way to keep moving forward. And then Marcus Stroman, Alex Verdugo, and Juan Soto have a big part of that. Play a big part of that, of this different energy and this different vibe of this team. And I'm very grateful that all three of those guys are on this team. I really am. So and kudos to Hal and Cashman for getting them here.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? It started with Aaron Judge, because he won. I don't know about Soto, but we know the Yankees were going after Soto for quite some time. They've been after him for a long time. But Verdugo was Judge's thing. He told Cashman and company, like, yo, you guys need to go out and get Verdugo. Like, this guy would be a valuable bat. And him and Verdugo have a pretty good relationship too. So even when Verdugo was playing with the Red Sox, but you mentioned Aaron Judge, man. What are your thoughts right now? Aaron Judge has been on fire this month, right? So, just to read off his stats here, because I had it pulled up. So check this out. And folks in the chat, tell me what you think about these stats. So we're talking about the month of May, Jason. He's got a batting average of 378 with 12 extra base hits and an OPS of 1367. How do you feel about that?
A little fire, man. And this is what we needed, right? Like,
right.
When Judge wasn't hitting, pretty much the whole team wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
Right. So now Soto got a little bit cold. Judge is hot. When Judge was cold, Soto was hot. Now we have two guys to feed off each other and basically lift the other one up, right? As a dynamic duo and partner in crime. So when these guys are clicking on all cylinders together, that's going to be a pretty formidable duo. And like I've said too, I'm more interested in to see what they do at 1, 4, and 5 around these guys, and if they have the right ingredients from 1 through 5, that I think is going to make them even more effective. But I'm very happy to see Judge playing extremely well. He just looks more. He looks happier. I know he's frustrated. I get it. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like Soto's really frustrated, which to me that's one of his intangibles. He doesn't really get flummoxed by stuff. So, and again, he hit a double off the wall yesterday towards the end of the game, and Judge drove him in. So maybe he's coming out of his little funk too. But it makes me very happy to see Judge rocking and rolling, man. What about you?
I'm loving it. I knew he was going to bounce back. I mean, here's the thing. He started off on a major slump, right? I mean, his batting average was in the 100s. Right now, it's up to 255 at the moment. So batting average slowly but surely creeping up there, right? We knew it was going to happen. But I have no complaints. He went 4 for 4 yesterday. A home run, 3 doubles, and a walk. I mean, that was just a fantastic game he had yesterday. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. And and I was a little worried about the Yankees going up against Pablo Lopez. I thought maybe they were going to struggle, but they didn't. They got a lot of hits on him. They could have had more runs, but 4-0, I'll still take it. A win is a win. They're 14 games over 500 right now?
14.
Yeah, 14 games over 500. I mean, it's a much better record than where they were last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's even a better record than the 2009 Yankees on this date. So, it speaks volumes as to as far as like what this team is like and what they can be. And this is without LeMahieu. This is without Peraza. This is without Garrett Cole. I mean, everybody's doing really well. Like the whole team is just clicking. Even the bullpen. There's a couple of guys that are struggling a little bit, but that's fine. I'm not too concerned about them. I know some fans, just to have a little laugh, they were probably a little worried when Caleb Ferguson got brought into the game, but he did fine. He did fine. He got out. But before we continue, I want to say what's up to a few other folks in the chat. Javier Velez, I see you. What's going on? Nosebleed section, my guy. I loved it. I love this dude. Great supporter of the channel. What's going on, Nosebleed section? Hopefully you're doing well. Dev Finch, hopefully all is well with you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah, the Yankees played a great. Again, they played a great game. You couldn't have asked for a better performance. I mean, Judge has just been on fire. His bat has woken up. And there's going to be those times, right? Like you mentioned a little bit ago, when Judge wasn't hitting last year, nobody was hitting.
Yeah.
Right. Judge wasn't hitting in the beginning of the season. He was in a big slump for all of April. And then, but other players were stepping up. You knew Soto was going to step up. He kept stepping up. He was consistent. Then there was other games where it was just like, okay, Trevino has stepped up. Oswaldo Cabrera stepped up. Volpe was stepping up. He was hitting.
Anthony.
So, people are wondering like what's been different. Yeah, and I think a lot of things. I think the way they have approached the game is a lot different. Now they're trying to keep it a little more simple. And I think the hitting coach has a lot to do with it too, with James Rosen. I think he's a difference maker, and I think the way they approach some of the analytics is I would say a lot different than where it was last year. I think they're using it the right way now. But I want to get your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a much better using analytics and the human element of the game in a healthy balance is a good thing. I think James Rosen is doing well at that. But this team also has better depth in their starters and their backups, right? So they're not having to play players out of position all the time like they were last year.
Yeah.
Complete chaos last year, right? And the depth was so bad that there was so much in it. And one of the biggest frustrations of fans was this Aaron Boone can't put together a consistent lineup. We heard that a lot last year. Well,
yeah. Oh, hold on. You kind of like froze, disappeared. I can't hear you, bro. You might need to come back okay. Well, while we're waiting for Jason, I'll get to a few of the comments here. So, right here, channel, what's up, man? How's it going? Good morning to you. They play the White Sox next. They shouldn't underestimate them. Listen, I'm not underestimating anybody. I'm not underestimating any team. I mean, every team is capable of beating the Yankees. That's the way I see it. The White Sox have actually been playing well as of late. So, we'll see what happens next series, which is tomorrow. But we'll see. And yeah, Uncle Tats, this team's clicking. The league is better. The league better be nervous. Yeah, they better be nervous, especially when Cole gets back. As long as Cole continues making that progress and he looks good in those rehab games, teams will need to be on the lookout. Stanton's been clutch too. Yeah, absolutely. Stephen B. Seems like Judge and Stanton look locked in. 100%. The lineup is deep. Yeah, we have enough guys hitting when the other guys aren't. Yeah. Last year was Judge or bust, man. This year it's a different story. And yep, today's game is at 1:10, so it's going to be an afternoon game. Which I don't mind the early games, but then again, I always say where I live, the times are perfect whenever the Yankees play. So especially when they play on the West Coast, the times still work out for me. So I'm cool with it. And will they be let down if they sweep Twins next? What do you mean? Will they be let down? I guess I'm not understanding your question. Never underestimate an opponent. That's when you get knocked out quick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you should never go into a game and just be like, this is going to be a cakewalk, because it's never going to be a cakewalk, right? I'll give you an example, and it's not a baseball example. It's a fighting example. For anybody who watches MMA or UFC, there was a fighter named George St. Pierre, aka GSP, and he had all the confidence in the world to beat this fighter named Matt Serra. He said he slept well, he felt good, but then he ended up losing the fight. He got upset, and he got Matt Serra got the upset. He got the win. He also got the title from him too. So again, you never underestimate your opponent. Never ever underestimate your opponent. The underdogs, they're underdogs, right? But they can also pull off the upset. So something to keep in mind. So absolutely, Uncle Tats, absolutely. And Twins were hot, but look what happened. Yeah, I mean, look, the Twins are not I don't want to say they're in a weak division, but they're in a division where it's not as strong as the AL East, right? The Twins are still a good team. It's just when it comes to the Yankees, it's a different story, right? I think they'll still play well against their division rivals. I think they'll play well against other teams that they can beat and play well against. But again, it's the Yankees, right? So and the Yankees, let's be honest, historically they have the Twins' number. They do. And Uncle Tats brings up the stat over here. And that's what happened. 114 wins and 44 losses since 2002. So, the Yankees have been owning the Minnesota Twins for quite some time. They have their number. They have their number. So, I'm not I'm not complaining about how this team is performing. And hopefully they go for the sweep. Hopefully they can sweep today. I'm hoping for that. We'll see what happens. And at least they guaranteed the series when they got the series. They won 2 out of 3. I will accept that, even if they lose today, which I hope they don't. I'm hoping they sweep. You got Clark Schmidt on the mound today. We'll see what the lineup looks like. I know the lineup hasn't come out yet, but I'm curious to see what the lineup's going to look like. It's probably going to be the same as it's been. The lineup's been pretty consistent. It's just a matter of if one of the players are going to get a day off. Maybe John Birdie plays today, just a guess. But, we'll see. We'll see. What are you saying here, Stephen B? Yeah, won the series against Twins. Worst we do is lose. But Schmidt's been on a roll, man. I mean, Clark Schmidt's been the second best starter in this rotation. He's been on fire, and so is Luis Hill. But, Schmidt, I feel Schmidt's going to do well today. I know some fans still like to criticize him. Personally, I think he does well. But, we'll see what happens. All right. We'll see what happens. I think like I said, I think he'll pitch a good game. Yep. That's right, guys. Uncle Tats here. Listen to Uncle Tats. Smack the like button. Tap the hearts. There's the hearts on the bottom right corner. Make sure you all subscribe. I got memberships available. I got super chats available. If you want to send a super chat, you can buy me a coffee. I got the link and the QR code right there. So any support is greatly appreciated. It means a lot to me, you guys. It means a lot. So I love doing these live streams. I love interacting with all of you. Thank you all for your support. Yeah, Clark Schmidt versus Joe Ryan, right? So we'll see how that matchup turns out. And I got Jason back. You ready to go, bro? All right, my man. I got you. I know. And Demon D, what's going on? Demon D, good morning to you. And Chris the Flash, what's up, bro? I hope everything is well with you, Chris. Hopefully everything is well, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're holding up, man. I know time's a little rough, but bro, it'll pass, man. It'll pass. So
I got a phone call and it disconnected me. Disconnected my sound. I had to reset everything. So my apologies.
Yeah. No, you're good, bro. It's all good. So I was talking about how the somebody made a comment, right here channel made a comment saying how the Yankees shouldn't underestimate the Chicago White Sox, right? I'm saying you shouldn't underestimate any team. You should always assume that a team could always beat you, no matter what team it is. And I don't know if you ever watched a fight between GSP and Matt Serra.
Oh yeah, I remember that fight.
So that was a prime example. Like I used the example of like never underestimate your opponent, because GSP said that he slept well, he felt confident, he felt like, I'm going to beat this guy. He ended up losing to Matt Serra. He got upset. Matt Serra pulled off an upset. He got the title from him, and it's the same thing. And GSP said that there was nights where he didn't sleep and he didn't feel as confident, and he won those fights.
Yeah.
So you have to you can't underestimate anybody. That's the point I'm trying to make. But that's kind of what I was getting into. And then also kind of talking about, Clark Schmidt's pitching today against Joe Ryan. The lineup isn't out yet, but I would assume the lineup's probably going to be the same. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like John Birdie in there playing third base maybe.
Yeah, I would imagine so too. And they play this
And
afternoon.
yeah, they play this afternoon. It'll be 1:10 in the afternoon. Oh,
Probably be 30 in about 45 minutes or something like that.
yeah, probably 45 minutes. It'll come out. Hopefully the lineup comes out while I'm live, and that way I could pull it up and we could talk about the lineup. Clark Schmidt's pitching today against Joe Ryan. And what do you think about Clark Schmidt, man? He's been the second best pitcher in that rotation. I mean, I know some fans didn't really have a lot of confidence in him in the offseason. I had all the confidence in him. I felt really good about him. What are your thoughts on Clark Schmidt, man? Because he's been on fire lately. So
he's got a higher ceiling than Nestor Cortez does.
100%.
So does Luis Hill. They both have a higher ceiling than Cortez. This is not to take anything away from Cortez. Okay, Cortez has been a veteran here, and he's been a consistent performer. You know, his road and his home stats are drastically different. He's good. He's much better at home than he is on the road, Cortez. But with that said, Schmidt is a lot younger with a lot more years of control. He's a developmental pitcher still, and he's taking his next step in his progression. And I think he's going to be, a mainstay. I think he's got 4 years of control left. So, has what, 5 or 6? So, those are the type of building blocks we want here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's showing the ability to go consistent and have lights out stuff. He's gonna get better when he gets through the third time around the lineup, which he's been into the sixth a couple times now, so I'm through the sixth one. So slowly but surely, I'm confident he's gonna get better. But he's definitely showing us that he's a frontline starter.
Yeah, and I mean, kudos to Matt Blake, man. I'll be honest, like I didn't know who Matt Blake was when the Yankees brought him into the organization. I'm like, I've never heard of him. He's a younger guy. Not that the age matters. I mean, if you're a good coach, you're a good coach no matter what age. I just wasn't sure who he was. But then when I saw what he did, especially with the bullpen and what he did with like guys like Clay Holmes, for example, right? Some of these pitchers that you never heard of, and he turned these guys into aces, right? In a way. But I've loved what he's done with this pitching staff, and I hope he's here to stay long term, as long as he continues that consistency with the whether it be the starting rotation or the bullpen. I'm loving what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean the bullpen, collectively has like a 2.15 ERA, and the rotation has a sub-4 ERA. So
Yeah,
that's a pretty good stat. It's a pretty good metric to go off of. And that's without Trevino, that's without Canely, that's without Efrost, and it's also without Cole. So, and they're overshooting the landing quite a bit and holding the fort down. And what's good about it is they don't have to rush Cole back.
Right.
They can stretch him out and let him have a spring that he didn't have. Right. So the same goes for Trevino. He's had a setback, but they can give him time to come back. And the same thing with Canely. They can let him have his rehab games and Efrost too. So I do think there'll be a couple of turnovers in the bullpen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal, that's normal. But I like how they've not only staffed the bullpen, and Cashman. This is Cashman's bread and butter. He brings in controllable arms, right, on a regular basis, and Matt Blake does a great job with them. He really, really does.
Yeah, I know that is, and like you said, that's Cashman's specialty right there is bringing in bullpen arms. But real quick, Damian Serrano, my guy, what's going on, bro? Hopefully you're doing well there, Damian. And I want to bring up a couple of comments here that I put a star on. So we were talking about Clark Schmidt. Remember what Joba said about him when we were talking to him? He said about Clark Schmidt.
I don't remember. What did he say?
Well, he was saying that Clark Schmidt has good stuff.
Oh yeah,
like Stephen B's comment here. Joba, when we were talking to him, he talked pretty highly of Clark Schmidt. I do remember that conversation with him. And Jake Boss brings up a great point about last year's Yankees. He said that they seemed to play like they thought they were going to win games and make the playoffs. They played with no urgency. And then, Reikia Channel is asking here, can Yankees trade for White Sox lefty? Instead, people wanted from Michael Kopech. Are you talking about Crochet, Garrett Crochet?
I wonder.
Yeah, because he's solid. I like Garrett Crochet, man, from the White Sox. That's one guy I wouldn't mind having. I know Mazza from Ford Train Express has talked about him a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, there was a proposal last night for a trade for the Cardinals closer, and then and Crochet. I mean, either one of them would be an easier get than Mason Miller. Then Mason Miller is like the flavor of the month right now, right? We saw him once; people are enamored by him.
Yeah,
The same type of hype that Roki Sasaki has generated, just because he throws 100, 200, 103. So, but remember, he missed 3. He's got 3 blown saves this year. Clay Holmes has none. So, and he missed 3 months last year with a shoulder problem. So I would worry about Mason Miller. I know he's young with controllable years, but I would worry about his arm becoming a problem. And
yeah, and so right here channel was talking about Garrett Crochet, and Uncle Tats was saying, Crochet was a guy we all talked about a lot in the offseason. Yeah, 100%. We all talked about him. You're right there, man. But look, listen, I understand the whole Mason Miller,
sure.
craze, or the trend right now is Mason Miller. But personally, listen, I don't really want the Yankees to trade for him. I really don't. We don't need him. He's good. I'm not saying he's bad. It's just, the nice thing is, yeah, you get some controllable years, but what is going to be the asking price from the A's?
Yes.
And we're a lot of, and here's the other thing, right? A lot of Yankees fans, what were they talking about last season? Bring up the young guys, bring up the kids, let them play. Now you're all willing to give these guys up for Mason Miller. I mean, I understand he comes with 6 years of control, which is great, but what happened now? Why all of a sudden a change of heart,
Exactly. And the fact, I mean, like a couple of things to keep in mind, like they're going to be moving to Vegas in a couple of years, right?
Right.
Is like Mason Miller to bring there. And if they trade him, they're going to want somebody like the ask is going to be Dominguez or Spencer Jones, at least. That's going to happen if they trade. The A's will ask for one of those guys, and then some on top of that. So to me, the cost. I was not going to trade Spencer Jones for 1 year Corbin Burns. I'm not going to give him for a closer. I'm sorry, and I want to compliment Clay Holmes, not replace Clay Holmes, right?
100%.
Yeah, and Clay Holmes has done a great job here, and I don't want to mess with that dynamic. I really don't. Like, I think somebody who to add value to this bullpen would be a different story. I think he would potentially throw in. And again, the fact is, like, if they bring him in and his arm blows up, and then we lose him for 2 years or a year and a half, then we lost Dominguez or Spencer Jones and whoever else. That's a tough proposition to sell to people, and a tough proposition to get over. So, and that's why I think I would resist the Mason Miller hype right now. As much as exciting as he is, and he is exciting, I would resist it. That's why I don't spend my time talking about Roki Sasaki.
Yeah, right.
Better than everybody in the world. Why? What has he done?
Yeah, and another guy, right? Another player, and I know he's good, but I'm not gonna waste my time talking about it till it's a reality. But Murakami, right? That's another player that folks talk about. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from those guys, but it's like we can't assume that they're just going to be Yankee players. Like they're we got guys in our organization that could play. I mean, we could look within our own organization, and Damian Serrano brings up a point here, right? Miller had already had shoulder issue and UCL, so no thank you. Exactly. I don't want that. And right here channel, would the Yankees let their rivals always get Miller? Well, you know what, man? They can't worry. Go ahead. Yeah, they can't worry about what other teams are doing. They can only worry about what they're doing. Yankees are going to worry about within their own team, and they're going to worry about the four walls that they're surrounded by when they're having these talks. If they want to go get Mason Miller, they will. If they want to, if they're really pursuing him. But I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to. There's really no reason to get Mason Miller. I just don't. I don't think it's necessary personally.
Yeah. And in fact, Orioles have a greater sense of urgency for Mason Miller than the Yankees do.
100%.
Brought in Kimbrel because their closer was Batista had Tommy John surgery. Kimbrel's only here for a year, so he would represent a bigger need for the Orioles, and they would have probably a much greater willingness to overpay for him than the Yankees would. So if he did go there, what if he goes there and his arm blows up, and then then that's the burden they have to carry, and I'd rather they carry it than the Yankees carry it.
Yeah, and in all honesty, too, I think the Oakland A's would be a little crazy to trade Mason Miller.
Me too.
I like you guys because they have a team. You know, I don't want to go talk about Oakland A's now, but they have a little bit of a team. They got some guys that could pitch. They got a few guys that can hit. They'd be crazy to trade that guy. But that's just my take on it.
I us to trade Matt Olson, but
yeah,
they did.
No doubt. What's up, Jared Williams? Good morning to you. And, Ken brings up a comment here. He's saying, Miller may be exciting, but he already has 3 blown saves, a history of arm issues. Plus, we've been burned out on our last 2 pitchers with the Oakland A's, which that's another reason why I don't want to trade with them is because their pitchers have been bad luck for the Yankees. So I'm good. No, thank you. Mm-hmm. But speaking of pitching, Marcus Stroman, he went 6 innings. Struck out 2, walked 3, but didn't give up any runs.
Yeah.
He pitched a solid game. He looked impressive out there. I was a little worried about him, because his last couple of starts it was rough, but he pulled through. What do you think, man?
See him hold the fort down yesterday. He gave the Yankees the start that they needed from him, and the start that the fans needed from him too. So, he kind of, he's back on. I think he's back into the mojo now. So, but I 6 shutout innings, 2 hits, held it down. And again, he's one of these guys like Nestor Cortez. They don't dominate with the fastball, so they've got to locate well. And when he locates well, then he pitches well. So, and he did that yesterday. Now again, locating well against the Twins is different than locating well against the Dodgers. Clearly, different offense, but he located well against the right team yesterday, and I guess it was a good that he was facing the Twins. But he's going to have some formidable opponents in the next couple of weeks coming up. Dodgers are going to be one. Cubs, they're going to be facing the Cubs later. They get the White Sox. They got the Mariners coming up. So they've got quite a few good hitting teams on the way.
Yeah, I know that. Listen, the Yankees' schedule. It's not getting any easier, right? I mean, after this series, they're going to play the White Sox. Seattle comes into town for a 4-game series, and then the Yankees begin their West Coast trip. The Dodgers are not on that, but they have San Diego, they have San Francisco. I believe the Angels are on that. So
the Dodgers come to the Bronx in late June.
Yeah, it's like mid-June, late June. Yep. So. I'm wondering though what I'll have to look it up, but I'm wondering what Marcus Stroman stats are against the Dodgers because he did pitch in the National League, so obviously with the Chicago Cubs. So I'd be curious to see how he's done historically against the Dodgers, and it's great to see him back on track. But Ken brings up a good point here. The concerning trend with Stroman is the walks. He gave up 2 hits and 3. Yeah, I mean he does give up a lot of walks, unfortunately. But he gave up 3 yesterday. But again, they didn't turn into runs, and he got himself in a jam, but he was able to get out of it too at the same time.
He made the pitches when he needed to.
Yeah. Jared, Padres, Angels, and Giants on the West Coast trip. Yeah, so I mean, Yankees are going to have their hands full at the end of the month. So,
yeah, man, Jung-Hoo Lee, the young Korean outfielder from the San Francisco Giants, is out now. He separated his shoulder 2 days ago.
I saw that.
He is out for a bit, but they still brought in Matt Chapman. They brought in Snell. They brought in Jorge Soler. They brought in a lot of guys, the Giants. So they're going to be tough.
Soler is hurt too. He's on the IL at the moment. Yeah. He's on the IL. So and Blake Snell. I mean, Jake. He's hurt. And Jake Boss is asking if Snell will be back by the time we face San Fran. I know he was put on the 15-day IL. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Honestly, I'm really not sure.
Yep. And I wanted to pull up this comment. So anyone who wants to rep the Strike Zone shirt, message at Tattoo Craftsman on Instagram to put your order in, and even more, mention Pinstripe Chronicles, and I'll cover the shipping. There you go, folks. And Uncle Tats, I need to get with you about getting these made, merchandise stuff, man. I'll have to get in touch with you at some point about that, but we'll see what happens. And Javier, we should never say those teams will be easy, man. And Just typically whenever an East Coast team travels to the West Coast or vice versa, it's a little hard. It's a little harder. So we'll see what happens. Again, we'll see what happens. But your thoughts, man?
Well, as I was going to say, I wouldn't underestimate any team that we play, but I would also encourage fans who come on our streams, and when the Yankees lose, I would encourage them to not underestimate the Yankees either.
Right.
They're better than people they're giving them credit for.
I think again the Yankees are on a roll. I don't think this is not a fluke team. The 2024 Yankees are
different team.
They're a much different team. And Ken is saying, who cares whether Snell is there or not? The Yankees need to do what we do, and we'll be all right. Yeah, 100%. Doesn't matter. If they could be going up against Blake Snell, they could go up against Corbin Burns. They could be going up against Yamamoto, whoever. Just show up. Show up and play. Show up and play. Folks, real quick, just a quick pause. Smack that like button, hit that subscribe button. Share this out with anybody I'm rocking out with my guy Jason from 161 River Ave. I got super chats, memberships available. You can buy me a coffee. Any support is greatly appreciated. I am going to put the link to the open panel, so anybody who wants to come up and join us, you can come up and join us. What I will ask is just make sure we're sticking to what we've been talking about. And, if I have multiple people on here, let everybody give their take. Just don't cut anybody off. Once they give their take, then you can give your take. So, just wanted to throw that out there. But I'll put the link to the open panel. So, you got the little one there with you, bro?
Yeah.
Nice.
One with her little rubber bands, her little squiggly bands.
Aw.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come here. You want to say hi? This is my little assistant, Madison.
Hi.
Hello, say hi.
Are you going to be the next GM?
Yeah.
For the Yankees? You're gonna be Cashman's replacement?
Yeah. Yeah. Little red Christmas tree outfit on, so.
There you go.
Right.
He's ready for some gifts. And Javier Velez is saying that he checked the standings. The Padres are 22 and 24. The Angels are 16 and 28. The Giants are 20 and 25. And keep in mind, the Angels are going to be without
Trout.
Yeah. So he's not gonna. He's out. So it's something worth mentioning.
Yep. They'll probably be of those teams. They'll probably be the easiest one to contend with. But I'm not going to sleep on them. I mean, Joe Adell's good. They have some other good players there. The Giants have enough firepower. The Padres have enough. I mean, they've added Dylan Cease. They've added Luis Arias. So the Padres are going to be sneaky good. Really
Yeah. No, the Padres. I'm not counting those guys out. Especially with the addition of Arias. And I mean, they made some pretty decent additions in the offseason, and then obviously in the last couple of months. So I'm not underestimating those guys.
And I'm not going to sleep on them either to get a closer. They haven't replaced Josh Hader yet.
No, they haven't. They haven't replaced Josh Hader. So who knows? Maybe they go after Mason Miller, but I doubt it, honestly. I don't know if they want to give up that much capital, but we'll see. And Ken brings up everyone has been laughing. Everyone has been laughing at the Rockies this season, but they have the current long winning streak with 7 games. On any given day, any team can be beaten. Absolutely. And the Rockies, they've been on a 7-game winning streak. They crushed the Padres yesterday.
Was that? Was it 2007 when they played the Red Sox in the World Series?
It was in 2007.
Didn't they win like the last 25 games of the season to put them in the playoffs?
Yeah, they were on fire. That month they were on fire, man. That 2017 was
it was unprecedented. Ridiculous role.
Yeah.
Never forget. Get it.
No doubt. And Uncle Tass's comment, he said Brian Cashman will still be the GM even when your daughter's old enough to be a GM.
Yeah.
Ocean View Coffee Shop. What's up? It's been a little while. You said Judge's game yesterday is why I watch baseball. It's a classic. Yeah, absolutely. You could join anytime there, Javier, whenever you want to jump on the open panel, dude. So, but I'm going to try and where is that link? I got the link up here, folks. So yeah, if you're able to jump on, feel free to jump on. All right. But, no, like I said, I'm loving, I don't know, right now with the Yankees, I'm liking where they're at right now. They're 29-15, 14 games over 500. It's great to see Judge heating up. Another guy that's been actually hitting well has been Anthony Volpe.
Yep.
Right. He's been a little bit better at the plate too.
Finding his groove.
Yeah, he's finding his groove. I'm still on the side of saying that I think he should be hitting at the 5th or 6th spot, but that's just me. Look, if he continues improving at the leadoff spot, then hey, leave him there. But
yeah,
we'll see in these upcoming games. What are your thoughts on Volpe?
Yeah, I mean, I think consistency. It seems like he benefits from consistency. So it takes him a while to adapt to a new position, whether it be in a lineup or a spot in the lineup. But once he gets into his groove, he kind of stays in his groove. So it just took him a little while to, get used to playing leadoff again when he wasn't playing leadoff. So
no doubt,
frustration of a lot of fans. A lot of fans want immediate results, and I get that too. But he's also 22 years old. He's only a sophomore in baseball years, so he's developing to do. But I'm happy with he's got a good head on his shoulder. He's a good young building block in this team. And again, I hope. Excuse me. I hope that they will. I hope that they will consider giving him an extension sooner than later. I would not longer because if he continues to get better, he's going to cost like Bobby Wood type money.
Yeah. All right, I got a few people waiting backstage that are going to jump on the open panel. I have Jared Williams, Javier Velez, nosebleed section. I see all three of you back there. I'm going to pull you guys all up, all right, and then we'll continue the conversation. We'll rock out till about 10:30, 10:35. I do need to wrap it up a little bit early today, just because there's some few things I got to tackle this morning on my end. But I'm going to bring you all up. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're all ready to go. Cool. Javier Velez. Cool. I'm bringing all you guys up right now. So Jared Williams, Javier Velez, nosebleed section. What is going on? So we'll go around the panel. I'll get everybody's take, and we'll just continue the conversation. So Jared, let's start with you, man. How do you feel about Aaron Judge? What's up, man? How you doing? What's up? How do you feel about Aaron Judge, man?
All right. First of all, what's up? And second, I feel really good about him. Last night, wow, that was insane. 4 for 4, hitting the home run to the third deck, I think?
Yeah, it was like
7 feet. Yeah. I'm like, wow. I've never seen that happen before. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah,
and I'm thinking,
it was a shot. It was a bomb.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, whoops, hold on.
Oh, you good? Okay.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. I'm good.
You're good, man.
But what's going on really? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. So, yeah, yesterday's game, he was on fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Judge he's been improving lately, right? Are you liking what you're seeing from Judge? Were you worried about him at all when he was on that slump or no?
Oh, no, I wasn't. But the rest of the fans were. I was like, hey, now. Just be patient. He'll pick it up. It's only the beginning of the season.
Yep. What's your take on Marcus Stroman? What did you think of his performance last night?
It's great.
Awesome. Nosebleed section. What's up, man?
How are you?
Good. How are you? It's great to see you on here. I always see you in the chats, man. Shout out to my guy Nosebleed section. He's always giving me a lot of support.
Shout out, man.
What's up, Nosebleed section? What are your anything you want to talk about, man? We could talk about Judge, Stroman, anything that we were covering on the show. So the floor is yours, man.
I'm glad that Judge has turned it around. right? Everybody was scared. Gave him a little time. Soto carried the team. Now he's cooled off, but Judge is hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nah, Judge has been on fire. Again, he's hitting 378 this month. He's got 12 extra base hits. I mean, his OPS is out of this world. What was his OPS? I had it up here. I think I might have lost it, but I think it was like 1137 if I'm not mistaken. But his OPS has been great. His batting average right now is at 255. So his batting average is slowly creeping up there. So you think would you say Judge is back and he's going to continue this hot streak, or how do you feel?
Well, the last 2 games, he looked like the old Judge.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%. And what did you think of Stroman's performance yesterday?
He's just got that bulldog mentality. Like he just fights through everything. He's a battler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is. That is one thing about Stroman, right? He could be in a jam, or he could, give up a home run. He could give up some runs, but he doesn't lose his cool. Like he gets back into the zone. He tries to get back into the zone and concentrate on what he's, on what he needs to do. He knows he's on a mission. So, I love his approach on the mound. He doesn't give up on himself. He tries to fight through everything, at all times. Would you agree with that?
I do, but he does live on the corner, so if he doesn't get that corner pitch, he kind of struggles a little bit.
Yeah. He's very focused on those corners, which, hey, I understand, because some umpires will favor him for that. Other umpires, not so much. It does depend on the umpire if they're pitcher friendly or not. But I don't know. I like Stroman. I'm a fan of him. I'm glad the Yankees picked him up. But at least that's my take on it. So, but Javier Velez.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, boss? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How do you feel about this team, man? How do you feel about Aaron Judge? How do you feel about Marcus Stroman? Talk to me.
Excellent.
How do you feel about the Yankees?
I feel excellent about this team, man. I mean, Judge has been, hitting the ball a lot lately, and I absolutely love the performance from Marcus Stroman last night. I'm also glad that we got the shutout. Not to mention, I am hoping that the Yankees sweep the Twins this afternoon, man. What do you think about that?
I love it. I think I feel confident that they could sweep. If they sweep, I'll take it. But they took 2 out of 3, right? They took 2 out of 3 against the Minnesota Twins. I'll take 2 out of 3.
I am glad that we took 2 out of 3 from Minnesota, and Judge crushed the ball last night. As I was watching the game, it landed in the third deck.
Yep.
And I am just glad that this team looks like a much better team than last season. And Jake Boss says, another series win, baby. That's what we need. Absolutely agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, great. Those are great takes there, Javier. Absolutely. But, again, this team is, 14 games over 500. I mean, this team is for real. They're doing all this without Garrett Cole. They're doing this without DJ LeMahieu, Oswald, Peraza. This team is on fire, and they're neck and neck with the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, go ahead, Jared.
And without Jason Dominguez.
Oh, Jason Dominguez, yeah. Thank you for mentioning
him back.
Yeah. Well, so I want to, I know a lot of fans have been talking about Jason Dominguez, and I'll talk, and I want to get Jason's take on this too. So we know Jason Dominguez. He started playing his rehab games. He's going to be DHing for the next couple of weeks, according to Aaron Boone. Now, I know a lot of fans want him up here, right? And I'll get everybody's take real quick. I'll begin with Jason, and I'll go around the room. But Dominguez, if you bring him up, where do you put him, right? I know a lot of fans are like, some fans, I don't want to say a lot of fans, but some fans are like ready to move on from Giancarlo Stanton, which I don't know why, because he's been doing well as of late too. But where do you put him? And I think he has to earn his spot back, and I think he's going to be what do you call it, a September call up, if anything. But he has to play. He has to make sure that he's healthy. There's no reason to rush him back right now, and let him continue playing at the minor leagues. But Jason, I know you and I have talked heavily about Jason Dominguez, but what's your take, man? Let everybody know.
Well, number one, I think it's just important to acknowledge right off the bat, there's no way in the world they're going to sit Soto. No way in the world they're going to sit Judge for him. That's never going to happen for Jason Dominguez. Now, Alex Verdugo, he brings the intangible that the Yankees haven't had. He brings that dog. He's a horse. So I would not mess with that flow at all. And the fact is, I liken Jason Dominguez to a guy like Spencer Jones. He needs to show that he can have success to reach level of the system before calling up to the majors. I think in his rehab, Dominguez needs to do the same. He needs to play well in single A before he moves up to double. Play well in double before he moves up to triple. And unfortunately, there's not a spot for him to play. Next year might be a different story, right? If Verdugo moves on. But I don't want to disrupt the flow that this team is on right now without him, just to have him up here because some fans want him up here. Because he's that to me is, he's not more valuable, not more important than the team itself. Nobody is. So I would keep that in mind. And that doesn't mean I'm not excited about him. I'm very excited about him. And I'm looking forward to him being a fixture on his team for the foreseeable future, and hopefully long term. But he unfortunately doesn't have a spot to play right now. And right. I would rather him playing consistently in Double A and Triple A than sit up and ride in the bench. Riding the bench is not going to make him better. Playing regularly will. And we need to get him past. We need to show he can be consistent again and perform before he's up here. That's my take on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And those are all solid takes. I think he's got to prove himself, right? I mean, we got a small sample size of him last year. I liked what I saw from him, but that was just a small sample size. And the great thing about him is that he's young, right? He's only 21, right?
I think
so. But yeah, real quick, Jared, I'll let you speak in a moment. But yeah, I'll get to you, bro. But yeah, he's young. He's got time. Again, there's no need to rush him. I know Yankees fans want to see him up there at the major league level, but let him develop first. Let him play his games out in the minor leagues, and then later on we'll decide. He's going to be a part of this Yankees team in the future. We know it. It's just let him. There's no need to rush him back. But we'll go with Jared, nosebleed section, and we'll get Javier's take on Jason Dominguez. Go ahead, Jared. The floor is yours, man.
Okay, so I agree with Jason over there. There's no reason to rush him back. Yeah, he's young and all, and then he should play it. He should play in Double A, Triple A because just to get better. Because you got to prove it and all, and then so yeah. But a little off topic, but how about Jose Trevino though?
Yeah, he's killing it. Well, he's definitely killing it for sure. He's definitely killing it there. But we'll continue. We'll talk about him too. But let's continue the conversation with Jason Dominguez. But any other thoughts you want to add to the conversation, or?
I think that's about it. So
yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say, bro. Nosebleed section. Your thoughts on Jason Dominguez?
I think he needs regular playing time. I agree with Jason. He's just, there's no spot for him, and I don't want to see him just rot on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no sense in him, again, and I've talked about this, there's no sense in him being brought up just to be on the bench. Let him get regular playing time at the minor leagues. Again, I don't know why so many fans were ready to DFA Giancarlo. It's like, DFA John Carl bring up Dominguez, like let him play. I'm like, yeah. Jared's like thumbs down. And so
I agree with you, man. I agree.
Yeah. There you go, Javier, my man. I got you. But Javier, what do you think about Jason Dominguez? I want to get your thoughts, man.
I just think that just like with Jason, I think he needs regular playing time out there. I agree with Nosebleed's point on Dominguez that he just needs regular playing time. And like you said, my man, I think it will be a September call-up for him.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what happens with Jason Dominguez down in the minors when he gets off the IL.
And
Yeah.
if I can add something,
go ahead, Jason.
he has a 30-day window right now once his rehab starting. So the Yankees have to make a decision in 30 days to either bring him up or place him in the minors. So that has to happen in the next 30 days. So we will know where he's going to be in I guess 28 days now. So we'll know.
That's right, Jason. That's right.
No, great point. While we're talking about guys, I also want to touch up on this subject. Because while we're talking about guys playing in the minor leagues right now, you got Oswald Peraza, right, who's been playing extremely well. I know he hit his third home run in 6 games. Is that correct? Right. Is there a possibility? Because I feel like he might be back before DJ. He'll probably recover before DJ does. Is there a possibility that he gets brought up? And do they DFA a guy like Jahmai Jones to make room for him? I want to get everybody's thoughts on that. Jason, let me start with you.
I have a feeling that the DFA for Jahmai Jones is going to happen when DJ comes up. I think the easiest way to get Peraza up here is if they trade Torres, because just like Dominguez, Peraza needs to play every day in order to progress. And he hits at every level except the majors, but he hasn't had an opportunity to play on a regular basis in the majors, so we just don't know whether he can do it yet. But I think the only way to get him up here is if Torres is traded, which would open up a spot, because then you can move Birdie to second base,
mm-hmm.
Peraza at third, and have DJ the roving infielder for everybody. So you could do that, and then you've gotten dramatically better on defense in the infield, significantly better. But the question remains: is will Torres stay? Will he get traded? We don't know. That's kind of the question mark here. And I think the decision on Oswald Peraza kind of hinges on that potential move or not.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be interesting to see. Personally, as far as the whole Torres thing goes, I think the Yankees are going to let him play out his contract. I think they'll just let him walk. Whether I don't know if they'll give him a qualifying offer in the offseason, but we'll see when that happens. But I don't see him getting traded personally. I don't. But we'll see what happens as that time comes. But nosebleed section, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Let's get your thoughts.
We also can't forget Oswaldo Cabrera, and what are you going to do with him? He earned his spot.
Yes.
Absolutely agree. Go on.
But no. What were you going to say, Javier? Go ahead.
So, just like Jason said, I think the best thing to do is get Peraza when Gleyber Torres gets traded, and I think Jahmai Jones is gonna get DFA'd once Dominguez gets called up. But another thing I want to explain is that the outfield problem is gonna come back when I think when Jason Dominguez comes back. So in my opinion, I think it's best that Dominguez DHs for a little bit, gets Stanton a little bit of rest. And I also want to complain about why people are choosing to DFA Stanton, where it obviously makes no sense at all.
Anybody want to take a stab at that nosebleed section?
We owe him too much money, so you might as well just get what you can in production-wise with him. Because you got to pay him either way, so you might as well pay him and get you something out of him.
That's the logic that I think a lot of people need to run with. Going to pay him and might as well get production. That's the comment of the day right there.
Yeah. And nosebleed section, you brought up Oswaldo Cabrera and how he earned a spot, and rightfully so. I mean, Oswaldo Cabrera, this is a different player, man. I mean, he's definitely been on a roll this year. You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, it's just Oswald Peraza, DJ coming back. I mean, you know, what are your thoughts, man? What are you thinking? What are your predictions?
Problems, but these are good problems as opposed to bad problems.
Yeah.
If I can mention something too, we haven't even brought up York yet.
Oh my God, Vivas, yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms right there. It's a good can of worms, but
so
you know,
I would keep an eye out for Oswaldo Cabrera or Oswald Peraza as potential trade bait for the trade deadline for a relief pitcher for somebody that the Yankees might want to address. So I would keep an eye out for them to clear up an infield hole, because we have a surplus of infielders and not everybody's going to be able to play. So I do think quietly try to shop one of them. Don't know who though.
Copy. And Jared, I know you had your hand up, so let's get your thoughts on Jason Dominguez. Go for it.
Actually, it's not about Jason Dominguez. I was gonna ask, what do you think about the bullpen?
Bullpen solid. I mean, they're I want to say they got the best ERA in the majors, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, I have no complaints about the bullpen. How do you all feel?
The only complaint I have is I don't trust Caleb Ferguson in high leverage.
Yeah, well, he closed out the game yesterday, so which is good.
Last night says otherwise.
Yeah, no doubt. But we'll get to a few of the other comments here, and I'll be wrapping it up here pretty soon, guys, because I do have to get going. But I appreciate you all coming on. I appreciate everybody in the chat. So make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with anybody you know. Any support is greatly appreciated, as always. And, you know, Uncle Tats is saying that at this point it's Torres that's handcuffing the roster spots more so than Stanton. Yeah, I would agree with that. And he's got an excellent point. Absolutely. And I like Gleyber Torres. I have nothing against Gleyber Torres. I like the guy. But I think there's also a future without him too. And I know some fans don't like to hear that, but let's be honest, right? Lou is saying if we trade Torres midseason, it will have an impact on Soto, being that they're friends. I don't know.
Nah. Instant disagree.
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, it's still a business. And Soto is going to worry about how much money he's going to get. You know, I understand the friendship that him and Torres have, and they could still maintain that friendship, you know, even if they play on separate teams. Let's be honest. You know, and Ken here saying that Stanton is tracking between 30 and 40 home runs with this season with a trend of 75 to 90 RBIs. I can see that. Do you guys see that?
Yep.
For sure. A couple of guys, you know, Damian and Stephen B, both saying that they need another lefty in the bullpen. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I think Caleb Ferguson and what's the other guy, Mike Tonkin, are the two likeliest to get DFA'd at some point.
Yep. And
Canely and probably Efrost come back. So at that point, I could see them adding a lefty reliever. Now, I've mentioned this before. When Cole comes back, somebody in the rotation is going to get moved, right? Whether it be a long relief or something else. So, and the most logical guy, and people disagree with me, is Nestor Cortez. So I would have him being a lefty in the bullpen for long relief. So,
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, if you guys agree or disagree or not, but I do think that's something worth considering.
Yep. And what's up, Sunil? How's it going, bro? You know what? Let everybody else give their take on who they think should be out of the rotation, because we have talked about this numerous times, Jason, as you know, right? Whether it's on your channel, my channel, some of the other content creators.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like such a hard question. I'll give my take here in just a moment, but I want to get your guys' takes. So Jason said Nestor Cortez, Jared, Javier, nosebleed section. What do you all think? Nosebleed section. Let's start with you, man. Let's start with you.
I think Cortez is the odd man out, but I don't think he's bullpen material. I think he's going to be a trade for a bullpen piece.
He might be a more likely He might be a more likely trade than a bullpen piece.
Yeah. So you're saying Nestor Cortez, nosebleed section. Let me ask this question: let's just say you're in the Yankees locker room. Let's just say you're in the room with those guys, having this conversation. If you're trying to think like they are, who do you think they move out of that rotation? Assuming that Nestor is still on this team. Let's just say he's kept in the rotation.
Nestor's the one that's not performing the best out of any of them.
Right. But a lot of
he's a slow starter, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he's not a bullpen piece, because he doesn't perform until second, third, fourth inning. So it takes him a while to get traction, and we can't have that in the bullpen.
100%.
Yeah. And I asked this question because there's a lot of fans that are saying that, they say knowing the Yankees, they think they'll move Luis Hill out of that rotation. I'm not saying that they should, but there's people making the argument that, they're trying to limit his innings, and, he's, hasn't pitched over 100 innings before. He's coming out of, Jared, if you don't mind muting your mic there, bud, there's a lot of noise there, so I appreciate it.
My fault.
No, you're good. You're good, bud. You're good. But there's people saying that they might move Luis Hill, which, I mean, look, I could see that happening. Hopefully that's not the case. But I'm with you guys. I'm with you and Jay and nosebleed section of moving Cortez, and he may not have. And some people are saying he doesn't have the stuff for a bullpen, but I don't know if I agree with that. I have to disagree. But Javier, what are your thoughts, man?
My guess is either moving. No, I don't want to move Clark Schmidt because he's like one of the best guys out there right now. But if I had to guess, I will either move Cortez. I would rather move Nasty Nestor to the bullpen because, face it, he is the weakest out of all the starting rotation right now. So there are some people saying that Luis Hill should be moved. I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And Nestor Cortez should be the likely candidate to move to the bullpen when Gary Cole gets back.
I got you. Copy. All right. Jared, let's turn it over to you. What do you think? Who do you think the Yankees should move out of the rotation when Cole gets back?
I was going to say Luis Hill, but no, he's been very good as a starter. I would say Nestor Cortez because he is pretty weak out of all of them, but he's only good at home. Because at home he has the lowest ERA.
Yeah, he's been the best starter in that rotation, Luis Hill. I have a hard time. I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time moving him out of that rotation into the bullpen. It's just I'm having a difficult time with that. Would you guys agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Nosebleeds, I think, hit the nail on the button. I hit on the head. I think he's more likely traded than moved to the bullpen. He's got two options too. I don't think he's going to be optioned.
No, I don't think they'll option him out, but I don't know. It's such an interesting conversation to have, man, because it's like all those guys are pitching well. I know, again, Cortez is very up and down, but Cortez just doesn't pitch well at other stadiums. He pitches well at Yankee Stadium, which is interesting to see. For whatever reason, when he doesn't pitch at Yankee Stadium, he seems kind of lost. I don't know if Jason, I want to get your thought on that. Like, is he in his own head, or what do you think it is?
No, I think he's right at this point. I think he's kind of like Verdugo, and so he's not really phased by stuff. I think he's just better suited in certain areas. His style, his pitching style is better suited for Yankee Stadium. And again, like, to me, he's got the most hittable stuff of all the guys. And like I said earlier, like, he and Stroman have to locate extremely well, because they're not throwing 98, 99, 100 like the rest of the guys are. So they've got to rely on location more than these other dudes have to rely on. So, and when he doesn't have location, people feast on him pretty quickly. And thankfully, they haven't been feasting on him in Yankee Stadium, which is a pure hitter's park. So, but with that said, I think this is an enviable situation for the Yankees to be in, but an unenviable decision that they have to make, right?
No
and
doubt.
having
No
this
doubt.
good thing, but like, they're going to have to make some pretty tough calls over the next month or two that I think are going to leave some people unhappy. I think the Jason Dominguez decision, if they keep him down, is going to make people unhappy, right? I think that if Nestor Cortez gets moved, certain people will be unhappy. If the Schmidt gets moved, certain people will be unhappy. So they're going to be in a tough spot. But again, this is the first time that they've had depth this much to be having to make these decisions. Whereas before, like, or I got to choose between this bad option or this horrible option. Now it's a little. So, it's picking from a higher, just a better litter right now. So, which is a good thing.
Yeah. And whatever decision the Yankees make, I mean, let's face it, there's going to be some fans that are going to be happy. Some fans aren't going to be. It is what it is. The way I see it, look, you got to do what's best for the team, and whatever is going to help this team win. That's the most important thing. So if you all want a World Series, right? If fans want a World Series, sometimes these moves have to happen. Some of these moves suck. It hurts, but you do what you got to do, right? Yep. It's when we traded for Juan Soto, right? We gave up a package. I mean, the only one I was really like, I was a little sad about was Michael King. But at the same time, I'm like, we're getting Juan Soto back. This is Juan Soto. He's a generational player. So moves are going to hurt. Trades are going to hurt. Letting guys go, it's going to hurt. Other players signing with other teams, it's going to hurt. It happens. It's just, again, it's part of the business. I mean, at the end of the day, they're ball players. And you know what? They're making money. They're millionaires. They're millionaires playing the game. So,
This reminds me of an unpopular trade that they made. They traded David Wells for Roger Clemens.
I remember that.
After he threw a game, and people were up in arms about it. And I get it. David Wells was beloved. But Roger Clemens, he became beloved here too. So, but it's that type of decision that they're probably going to have to make at some point.
Yep. And I want to get to this comment. And then once I get to this comment, I want to get everybody's take. And then we'll talk about the over-under for today's game. I want to get everybody's score prediction. And then we'll slowly close it out. So Gregory Wayne is saying no need to move any of those guys from the rotation. Keep them all stretched out. Bring on Mason Miller for Arias, Hampton, Pereira. Keep them away from Baltimore. No other additions would be needed. Let's get your thoughts, Jason. Let's get your thoughts on that. I know we talked about it already, but
I passed on the Mason Miller trade.
Same.
And especially for Roderick Arias and Chase Hampton and Everson Pereira. Like, Everson Pereira I can see, but not Roderick Arias and Chase Hampton. That was proposed yesterday by, I don't know, somebody in Bleacher Report or something like that. But I would pass on that. But with that said, I get the logic of keeping the guys and even bringing in Cole and stretch them out to 6 man. But I worry that everybody's rest going to get interrupted again.
Yep.
They're already in a groove on a 5-day cycle. Then pushing them back to 6-day cycle might affect some guys more than others. I worry about that part, which is why I think having good long relief so that serves as a security blanket. The bullpen is a really, really important piece. So that's why I would either trade Cortez or move him to long relief, then put rotation. That's my take on it. So what do you guys think?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jared.
Okay. I'm not feeling feeling training for Mason Miller. I know the kid's got nasty stuff, but I don't really want him.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
He can stay where he is, the Oakland A's.
Yeah. And that's assuming if the Orioles are even going to trade for him. We don't even know what the Orioles want to do. And real quick, I want to say what's up to my guy TC Stills. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What up?
Hopefully you're doing well.
What up?
You getting plenty of love here, TC. You getting plenty of love.
Steals.
What's up, my guy? So we'll see you on the Morning Brew show there soon. Javier, what do you think? I know we talked about Mason Miller, but what do you think about trading any those guys?
Nope. Instant disagree.
Yep.
But I will keep Arias and Hampton, but I don't know about Everson Pereira. Though. My best guess is to keep him and not trade for Mason Miller, because that guy's gonna cost a fortune. Trust me.
Definitely. And then let's go nosebleed section.
Yeah, Miller's a hard pass. His arm is gonna fall off at any time this season. He has shoulder issue. He had an elbow issue. Let somebody else worry about him.
Yep.
I'm okay with what we have right now.
100%. No, you're absolutely right, and I agree with you. And then Sunil, you ready to go, bro? I'm gonna bring you up. So, what's going on, Sunil? Welcome. So,
What's going on?
I want to get a couple of thoughts, and actually, the Yankees lineup just came out. So, let me get your take on the Mason Miller thing, and then I want to. I'll bring up the lineup, and then we'll talk about the over/under for the score for today's game, and I want to get everybody's score prediction. So, go ahead, Sunil. Give it a quick take.
I'll answer that Mason Miller comment with a question of my own. Since when is there an obsession between Yankees and trading for Oakland pitching? I mean, have we not seen enough failures so far that we're really considering this? Sonny Gray, Frankie Montas, Lou Trevino. 2 of the 3 have been injured and have gone elsewhere. Lou Trevino is still working his way back. Oakland pitching has had a very strong case of injuries whenever they've come to the Bronx.
So
and we're seeing. I'm saying no. I'm saying hell no for Mason Miller, especially after the last 2 years' history that he's endured between the elbow and the shoulder, missing significant time in each case. Come on, guys. You're giving up way too much in Roderick Arias, Chase Hampton, and God forbid if they want to even include Spencer Jones in the context. Hell no.
Facts.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, I'm going to bring up the lineup here pretty soon. And Jason, can you hear me?
Mason Miller?
No, not Mason Miller, but I got the lineup here, bro. You wanna read it off? Yeah.
Yeah, man. So Yankees lineup. This is Game 3 against the Minnesota Twins, right? And we have it's a pretty consistent batch of guys here, and I think the Yankees are finally finding their groove. Okay, Anthony Volpe's leading off at shortstop. Juan Soto's batting second in right field. Aaron Judge at DH today is getting half a day at batting third. Alex Verdugo's at the cleanup spot in left field. Gleyber Torres batting fifth. He's hitting a little bit better, so I'm not surprised he's moving up a little bit. Second base, Anthony Rizzo's moving to sixth. First base, Austin Wells is at the dish, batting seventh. And John Birdie's back in there, like you said, Effie, and playing third base.
I predicted it, bro.
Yeah, you predicted it, my man.
Yeah. And Trent Grisham batting ninth in field. So we got that defense out there, and with Judge getting Judge's bat at the DH, Stanton's getting a day off. And on the hill, towing that slab, is Clark Schmidt, baby, against him.
Yeah,
let's go, baby. Let's go. There you go,
baby. I think this is a pretty consistent lineup, because you have Stanton taking the day off, and you have Trent Grisham playing center field.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, no doubt. So no, I had a feeling. The Yankees were going to put in Birdie. I was like, I woke up and I was like, they're probably going to play Birdie today. But the lineup's been pretty consistent for the most part. At least that's good. Let's see.
My concern is missing Cabrera. I would have, if it were me, I might have put Birdie in Torres's place, or maybe Cabrera in Torres's place, giving him a little day off. At least Cabrera's bat stays a little bit more consistent, and you get Birdie playing time at third base. That would have just been me. I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not. I'm just saying, and
Sure.
then
No,
especially considering since Joe Ryan is right-hander,
yeah.
we don't. We
And
don't have too many lefties in there other than Soto, Verdugo, and Rizzo.
yeah, but to TC's point though, he's been hot as of late. So I think
Yeah.
you wanna keep him in there. So
Hmm.
no, and your idea is great too, Sunil. But
Hmm.
again, it's the Yankees. They're I would say they're trying to keep the lineup consistent. I don't we don't want to go
No.
back to 2023 where they're just scrambling the lineup around. But
Yeah, no. We don't have the Fantastic Four and the Three Musketeers.
yeah, but
And
I want to get everybody's take here, and then I'm gonna close it out. I'll drop all of you off, and but I want to get everybody's take. What's up, Jordan? I see you. And yeah, Cabrera will play today. He'll probably pinch hit. You're probably right still. So the over under for today's game is 8 runs. What do you guys got over under? Jason, what do you think the score is gonna be? And what's your over?
Going under. I think the Yankees are going to take it 5-2.
5-2. Okay. What about you there, Jared?
My score prediction is
That's a lot of options.
I say 6-2 or 6-1.
6-1. So you're going under. Okay. So Uncle Tats is saying under. Jordan is saying under. Stephen B is saying under. Okay. All right. What about you, Javier?
yeah, I'll
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Jason's suggestion and say 5-2 Yankees.
5-2. All right. All right. Nosebleed section.
3-1.
3-1. Okay, so yours is gonna be a little bit more low scoring. TC Steels is going over. He's saying 8-3.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go 3-2.
You're gonna go 3-2. All right. My
Yeah.
score, my prediction is gonna be. My score is gonna be. Over under is 8. You know what? I'm gonna go 4-2. I'm gonna go 4-2. I'm gonna go for the under. I'm gonna go for the under.
Yeah.
And TC Steels, absolutely. You gotta turn all those hits into runs, 100%, man.
Facts.
Yankees they've been getting a lot of hits. They've been putting guys on base. Now they just gotta turn those into runs, but they've been doing a better job. But before I wrap it up, let me just get one final thought from everybody, and I'll drop all of you down, and then Jason and I will close it out together. So let's get everybody's final take. Sunil, let me start with you.
Joe Ryan is a tough pitcher, 3.21 ERA, so that's not really a slouch. Everybody was, pretty much on the Pablo Lopez bandwagon yesterday, basically, saying that he would be tough on us. He more or less got lit up second batter into the game. I mean, NASA's been paged to try to find where that ball was landed. So yeah, I'm not. I'm. That's where my hesitation to go over on the over under is because he like, Tats is saying, he's not ace, but he's legit. I would definitely put him level with Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt has basically come out to be the one pitcher with the most number of outings of 3 earned runs or less. Ryan is right there, so this is going to be a level battle today. That's what I'm expecting.
All right, awesome.
Jason probably agrees. I see him nodding, and he's probably like, I can see the bobblehead nodding going on.
Yeah. I never underestimate a guy with the last name Ryan. I think he's referring to Nolan Ryan there. Absolutely, Uncle Tats. Nosebleed section. Let's get your final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not taking the pitcher for granted, but Schmidt's on the mound, so that's why the score is 3-1. Because I don't think the Twins can really score much.
Yeah, and I
All
think
right.
the runs are coming off the bullpen, not off Schmidt.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. That is your last name. That's right. I don't underestimate you, Uncle Tats, ever, man. I got my eye on you at all times, sir. Just playing with you, my guy. Javier Velez, your final thoughts.
So, you have Clark Schmidt on the mound, and if you're the bullpen, please do not give up. Please give up little to no runs on Minnesota. And John Ryan is a really tough pitcher, and we need to do our best to get to him early, so that way, this lineup could be on fire.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Great take, bro. Great take. Jared, your final take?
Well, I mean, he seems like a tough pitcher, but I said the same thing about Pablo Lopez last night, but that didn't work out. But you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, what is Vegas now?
Hopefully, hopefully the offense does what they did in the last two games and we win.
Yeah.
Facts. And
so yeah.
Awesome. Jason?
Look for Soto to have a big game today.
Yeah.
He's due.
I think Soto's due to have a big game, and I think this will be the first game that Judge and Soto both rock and roll together, and they give us a glimpse of what these guys can actually be, like a dynamic duo. I'm looking for that today, and I'm looking for continued consistency from Clark, and I'm looking for more production from the bullpen. We can get 6 out of it and get some production from the bullpen. I think we're going to be happy campers. But I think they're going to beat the Twins.
Facts. And
I got a quick thought that came.
Hold on, Sunil. I want to read this comment from Uncle Tats. So this is a kudos to all you guys. Nosebleed, Jared, Javier, you all did a awesome job on the panel today. Great takes. So keep up.
That's what's up.
Anytime I do an open panel, you guys are always invited. So
great job, guys.
Yeah, great job to all you guys. So what were you going to say, Sunil?
So Ryan was basically the pitcher who opposed Brito in that game 1 of the series when Twins came to the Bronx last year. And that was the infamous game in which Brito lasted, 1 or 2/3 of an inning, gave up those double-digit number of runs. There's one difference, Mr. Ryan, between that lineup and this lineup. Juan Pacheco Soto. Be careful.
Yep.
He's coming for you.
That's right. I think the Yankees are gonna. You know what? I feel good about the Yankees today. Clark Schmidt's on the mound. My prediction for Clark Schmidt. I think he'll go. He'll go 6 innings. He'll go 6 strikeouts. Give up 2 walks. We'll say 6 hits. I'll say 6 hits just for the heck of it. That's my take. And this team is on a roll, and I guess Sunil coming in to not blowing the save. That's hilarious. But let me get. I know Jared. I know you had your hand up. One final. Go ahead and say what you need to say. Then I'm going to drop you all off, and then Jason and I are going to close it. What's up, man?
Okay, with last night's win, the Yankees are now 118-44 against the Twins all time since 2002, and that includes the postseason.
Yeah.
15-2 in the postseason. 15 of those in the postseason. 15-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. All right, guys. I appreciate all you guys coming on. Sunil, Nosebleed Section, Javier Velez, Jared Williams, my guy Jason, always rocking out with me.
Well, Tats, first things first, my first name doesn't begin with a C, so you can't go full cardiac on that. So I'm just telling you.
Yeah, all good. But no, I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to drop you guys all off. And get you guys going. I'm going to close it out with Jason.
Thanks,
So
guys.
again, thank you
Thanks for
guys.
everything.
You guys rocked. Good job to all of you. So thank you all so much. So we'll see you all next time.
Thanks,
And
man.
you're welcome, bud. You're welcome. Anytime
Appreciate
you
it.
want to come on. Anytime. Yeah, anytime, Jared. See you later. Nosebleed section. Have a good day. I'll see you again, man. You know I'll see you around.
Nosebleed.
Yep. Jason, again, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely, bro. And I'm going to close it out. And I appreciate everybody jumping on, getting involved in the chat. Thank you to everybody who jumped on the open panel. Greatly appreciated. You guys did an amazing job. So I'd love to do this again. And as always, go Yankees. We'll see you all next time. And you all have a wonderful day. See y'all later.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.